Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. Today is a very exciting one for a couple reasons. First, I'm sitting in my new office filming this video. That will be on my channel really soon. I can't wait to share it with you guys. I love how this turned out. The second thing that I'm excited to share is my merch that I just came out with. This is the first time I'm showing it to anyone, and if you've been here a while, I had a shirt just like this that said vintage. I used to wear it all of the time. I wore it totally into the ground, but I got it from a market and people used to ask me where I got it all the time. So I always knew that I wanted to create my own version, kind of spin-off of it. So today I am launching 3 different items with this vintage logo, and I have been working on this for a long time. The images that you see are all hand drawn by me based off of home decor that I have in my home and that I use all of the time to decorate with, and even the border is an exact replica of a DIY sign that I made and shared here on my channel. You know I love sharing vintage finds with you guys. I am no expert, but it's just something that's so fun and special to me, and I know our love for vintage and home decor items has connected us all, so I just thought this would be a really special thing to share with you guys. It is a limited line, meaning it's a campaign. It's not going to be available forever, but maybe if you guys like it, I can add more items and bring it back in the future. So let me know what you guys think. It's available in this, which is a 3/4 length shirt, and the shirt is so comfortable. It's also available in a baseball tee and a crew neck sweatshirt, which I love so much, and it's just the perfect, most cozy. I'm not even kidding you guys. This shirt is so comfortable. It's a little oversized. I'm usually in a size medium, but for this I sized down to a small, and it's still a bit oversized. So just keep that in mind if you do plan to order. And I just wanted to thank you all again so much for showing up here and for your support. I hope that my videos can continue to inspire you. And if you like this shirt, I hope you check it out. I thought it was just so cute and fun and perfect for all of us vintage home decor lovers. Okay, so now let's get into today's video, which is the third thing that I am so excited about. I love vintage shopping. I haven't been in a while, so I had a list of things I was looking for specifically to use in my spring decor. So I went on Pinterest and Instagram, looked for some inspiration. That's my first tip, especially for seasonal decor. I love to start there to just get my creative juices flowing, get some ideas, and then I make a list based off of that on just some pieces that I want to keep my eye out for when I do go vintage shopping, because it can be overwhelming. I like to shop at vintage malls because each vendor is priced differently. It's all curated per vendor, which means that you will just get a more wide variety of items versus if it's just one sole own antique shop. Plus, a lot of the vendors will have their own individual sales and things like that, and it can be really overwhelming, especially in some booths. There is just floor to ceiling stuff everywhere. Sometimes it's things that quite frankly just look like junk and it's nothing you're interested in. So a rule of thumb, if I'm in a booth and I don't see something that catches my eye within like the first 10 seconds, I usually just keep on going. Not every booth is going to really fit your style or what you're looking for, so I've learned to just pass those booths by, keep on moving. Another thing that I found really helpful is the antique malls around here. They switch up their stuff all of the time. I generally go like once a quarter. Usually I'm there for just different seasonal decor, so I like to go at the beginning of each season to look for items to kind of switch out the decor in my home. But if you go to the same antique malls more than once, you start to get to know which vendors really fit your style and have items that you love. At the antique malls that I visit, there's always 2 or 3 vendors that I just head straight for first. They always have things that just fit my taste perfectly, so that's something that can save you a lot of time and a lot of headache if you get overwhelmed at booths that are just not your style and just packed with stuff that you aren't looking for. So when I was shopping for spring decor today, I was thinking of gardening, I was thinking of flowers, romantic florals, white pottery. I love pictures. I love, what else? Watering cans, Just wait, I'm excited to share what I found for that one. It's fun to look for antique gardening tools, definitely things that are gonna bring in that light, bright spring feel into your home. And as you guys know, I love decorating with a mix of new and old. The patina of old items just adds such a charm to your space. I have a new build home, so I love adding in charm with vintage pieces, and the patina of galvanized metal for spring I just love. So now I'm going to share with you all of my vintage and antique finds to decorate for spring, and also some different ideas that I've picked up in the past that I'm also going to be using in my spring decor. So let's get started. First off, let's talk about this perfectly curated stack of old books. I have been putting this little collection together for a while now. I was looking for creams and green. I love green as just kind of like my neutral everyday decor, so I probably will use this on my office bookshelves, but it's also so great for seasonal decor to incorporate just different colors using antique vintage books. Probably safer if I just put those aside, but I have been curating those for a little while now, and my rule of thumb with old books is I know that some, authors and collections can obviously cost more. They can get very, very pricey, but for my decor aesthetic, I don't like to spend more than $10 per book. That's just my rule of thumb. It's doable in my area. I've seen them for cheaper than that. I have one in here that was $6, and the most expensive one that I bought is $10. Like I said, they can get real pricey. You could probably find them for less in some areas. My vintage shops are filled with old books, but it just depends on the vendor if they have a sale going on as to the price of them. But that's my rule of thumb, $10. Let me know in your area if you look at the vintage old books what they go for, because I don't know, I feel like they can get a little pricey, but you can also still find some that are really good deals. Another thing is if they're just too pricey where you are or you can't find any, go to the dollar store, the Dollar Tree, find a book, take the cover off, and if it's like a light whitish color, I have a bunch of books. If it's hardback and it's a light color, just take the cover off, put it on your shelf, perfect. If it's a paperback, you can actually take the cover and the back off and the spine, and then it just looks like this really worn white book. I have those as well. So just an idea if you're having a hard time finding old books, that's an option for you. You guys know by now that I cannot pass up a pretty white picture, especially one that has beautiful texture. I'm such a sucker for these lined white pottery pieces. They're just perfect for styling, perfect for bouquets of faux or real flowers. I love to put this by my sink, in your bathroom, so many places. You can style it on a shelf. I love this one. I don't have one that's lined like this. It's just so, so pretty. This is one of my favorite vendors. It was $28, which decently priced, I'd say. I don't know exactly how old it is. I could probably look it up, but I love this one. Lately I've been limiting my white pottery finds because I'm starting to get quite a collection, but I don't know what it is. I love white pictures and I just can't really pass them up. Next is this tiny white vase. I love using vases and different pottery pieces to plant flowers in for spring. I'll show you an example of that, but this one is not for that. It is a small white vase. It was $2.99, and I'm going to use it for a pencil holder on my office desk for all of like my colored pens and things like that. It's just so pretty. It has those lines on it that I just told you I loved, and then you can tell it kind of has like that scalloped edge on the top and at the bottom. I just thought it was so cute, and for $2.99 it was a really good deal. A lot that I can do with it. You can use it for as a vase, or like I said, I think it'll be really cool to display pens in. Love finding pieces that you can use for multi-purpose things. The next thing I got I thought was so fun for shelf styling. This is a white ceramic urn planter. So I have this really pretty hanging plant that I got from IKEA for like $4 or $5. They also have really good plants like that for $5 at Target. So I plan on just putting one in here and putting it on a shelf. And I just think this is so pretty. I know I've showed you a lot of white pottery vases and things, but like I said, spring to me means florals. So if I can find a really cool vintage piece that I can use to either plant flowers in or just put a really pretty faux arrangement in, I think that is such a cool way to mix vintage in with spring. I do have one more white pottery piece that is so pretty that I'm going to show you, but I'll take a break, kind of mix things up a little bit to show you my favorite spring find, and it is this galvanized watering can. Oh my gosh, it actually has the little spout thing with the holes. I saw a couple other ones that didn't have it. It was just like the, I don't know, just like a thin hole spout, but I love that this one has the little holes on it. I just thought that was such a cool look, and I mean, this thing, I just love it. I love how aged it looks. So pretty, has a cute little handle here. It was $20, which I thought was more than reasonable. You can find watering cans in any store, especially for spring. They're probably at least 20, if not more. But yeah, I have such a fun idea to do with this on my island. This is going to definitely be the star of the show. It's the biggest piece, going to incorporate a lot of florals, and then I also around it have newer items. You know that I love vintage, obviously, but I also love new decor. I love Hobby Lobby for florals. I love to check out Home Goods. I love Target, their seasonal decor. So my island centerpiece in my spring decorating video, that's going to be a mix of vintage, Hobby Lobby, Home Goods, and Target, all combined together so beautifully. I love mixing old and new, so I can't wait to show you how that turned out. But I just love that watering can. It was such a good size, such a unique staple piece that you can style in so many different ways. And yeah, that was definitely my find of the trip. All right, last white pottery piece, I promise. This was only $10. I don't know why it was so affordable, but I've started to collect these a little bit. This is my, I guess it's only my second, but I love this thing. So it's a serving dish, and this one's very new looking and clean. It doesn't have a brand name on it or anything, but I love the top. I think it's just so pretty. It has those lines that we talked about that I love. The handles are pretty, the top is beautiful. But what I am planning on doing with this is I will display it with the top off. So my plan for this is putting it by my sink and picking up those potted tulips and planting it in there, like a tulip or hyacinth, I think that's how you say it. Trader Joe's and also Publix both sell like those spring bulb florals. So I'm thinking about planting one in here, maybe one or two, and putting it by my sink for spring. I think that's gonna be so cute. So yeah, this is also, you can use it for serving if you're hosting or something like that. And it's also just a pretty piece to display on a shelf. I can see myself putting the top back on and just putting it in like the middle of a shelf and keeping it out on display for just everyday decor. So yeah, for 10 bucks, I thought this was such a good find. And then this little picture was just another gem that I thought was such a steal. She took the tag off, but it was only $10. That's why, a huge reason why I grabbed it, because I do have a lot of brass, or it's actually copper. It says solid copper on the bottom, made in Turkey, and it could definitely use a clean. But I love just all of the intricate details. Can you see the handle there? And there's something about, I don't know, even the look of these older copper pieces. I love the patina on those, and this one I'm going to use for shelf styling in my office just to add in some of that old charm. I think this is just going to look so good set on a shelf. I could pop some seasonal florals in there. This would be really cool with just like some white you know, white faux flowers for spring. I just love this piece. I always have my eye out for pieces that you can just throw in some seasonal florals. Such a pretty way to just add some charm to your space. Love this one. Okay, so that was everything that I picked up for this spring, but I wanted to show you some of my other vintage pieces that I picked up in previous years that I will be using again for spring. I love finding really pretty floral platters and plates to display on shelves. This is such a fun way to just add a pop of seasonal color to your home. I have shelves above my dining room that I'm always switching out the pottery. So this one is just so classic with those really beautiful blue flowers. Plus, I just love the shape of these serving platters. I did have these hanging up on my wall for a while, which is an option too. And then this one is more of an aged look to it, but just I love all of the pretty spring colors. And then here is the other one that I was thinking about using for spring. There's just so many touches of like light pinks, purples, yellows, green. Perfect to add pretty spring touches to your home. If you're having a hard time finding a galvanized watering can, last year I found this really pretty tin bucket. It was very affordable. I think it was like $8, and it still has that really pretty aged patina that I loved. And I used this on my island to display florals. It is a little larger of a hole to fill, so that's one thing to keep in mind, but it still brings that really pretty look. I just think there's something so gardeny about this aged metal, so that's an option as well. These are affordable and I see them almost every time I'm out antiquing. Another thing to keep your eyes out for when you are vintage shopping for spring decor are these really pretty bud vases. I found a lot of these thrifting for like $2 to $3 a piece. I think max I would pay for this is $5, but I have a whole big collection of them, at least 15. And what I ended up doing is lining them all down the center of my dining room table and putting flowers in them. I used baby's breath, very affordable, and they lasted a long time. Even after they died, they kind of just dried and looked the same. So that's what I did for last spring for my centerpiece. So these are just beautiful, and then when I'm not using them on my dining room table, I have them styled all together on a shelf. There's something just really cool about displaying collections together on a shelf as well, and these are just, I don't know, they're just really fun. You can find them almost anywhere, and they definitely bring that vintage feel to your space. And then the last thing I wanted to share with you guys is keep your eyes out for picnic baskets. This one I found at a thrift store for $12, and I love it. I love the color of the aged wicker on it, and also the hardware and aged leather on this part. I just think this is such a fun piece, and picnic baskets all have a top on them, so it's really fun to collect them and stack them on top of each other. I love the look of a basket stack. It can add height to a space without having to go out and buy like a big expensive piece of furniture. So definitely add picnic baskets to your list for spring decor. All right, friends, I hope you enjoyed today's video and that it gave you some ideas and inspiration. Stay tuned for my spring decorating video. I have so many good pieces to share with you guys. I hit up Hobby Lobby and Target and Home Goods. I didn't know if you guys would want another haul video or if I should just kind of show you what I got as I'm decorating. I'm kind of leaning towards doing it that way. But yeah, I am so excited to share that video with you, and then my office video is going to be coming soon, and this will be linked down below for the shirts. Like I said, this is the 3/4 length shirt, and then there's a baseball tee and a crew neck sweatshirt. Thank you all so much for being here, and I will see you in my next one. Have a great day.